Right folks, just let's get straight into it. So first things first, look at a mess. I've got to get this shock vac sorted out. There's a new shock vac, I blew my DeWalt one up, so I just got a cheapo one from Screwfix. The reviews are good on them, so it's a 40 litre one with a power tech off. Then read the instructions on my miter saw, and I can't use it with my miter saw because there's too much wattage or something. I'm not an electrician. Here's my temporary log store, the back of my big van. Now, I don't know whether to turn my big van into some sort of rolling sort of workshop I can use here. Let me know your thoughts on that. And here's Stanley. That's my hand there. Thought I'd scare him. So here I'm going in with my project. I am looking to do something a little bit different. It's something that's been in my head, and I just want to try a few like design elements, sort of stuff like that, and just see if I can sort of manage something that's just slightly a bit different with a few elements of doing stuff in it that's different from the norm, from what I'd normally do. Now, this project again, I do make a few mistakes, as the thumbnail sort of suggests, and we'll get to them in a little bit, but I work around it, and they work out not too bad. In the end, it's not what I wanted, but you can see, you know, a glaring obvious thing that I do wrong, and it's just one of them things. I don't even know where I went wrong with it, you know. It was a measurement issue, and I don't know where I went wrong with it. So I'm just going in here with my Makita chop saw. Watch your fingers, be careful. It would be okay if you sort of like set it up properly, wouldn't it? Like, you know, I've got one of the sliders not on there, or whatever they call it, the slidey bits. That's what I'll call it, the slidey bits. So I'm just using 4x2, or 2x4, what the Americans say. We say 4x2s over here, and 8x1. Is it 8x1? 8x1, not 8x2, 8x1. And I keep putting 8x2 down, but it's not, it's 8x1. So yeah, I'm using a combination of them two woods. And I'm just marking out. Now, the proportions, what was in my head here, to how it sort of turns out, is, you know, sometimes when you do something and you can see a picture in your head, but actually when you go to make it, it's just not the same. So this is sort of another thing that happened here with this project. Don't get me wrong, in the end I quite like this project. In fact, I'd go to say I love the project. It's just a little bit quirky, and I like it. And sometimes mistakes can happen for a reason, but on this occasion I wouldn't have liked this measurement mistake to have happened, but nevertheless it doesn't matter. Let me know where you're all from. I ask that every video, and I'm just going in two boards deep two boards deep here. It's morning when I'm doing this voiceover, and you know, I'm not too good at it in mornings. Let me know your latest projects, what you're all doing. What's the biggest mistake you've made in woodworking? Share that and how you rectified it in the comments. Let other people read your comments. And it would be a massive help if all you watchers who are watching this video subscribe to my channel. So I'm just going in, putting the rest of the wood back into the van. Back of my van. So I got this tip off YouTube. It was my DeWalt miter gauge that come with my DeWalt saw. And obviously it's got like side to side play in it, but you know, using a bit of this blue tape to sort of shore up the sides of it. And you know what? It actually works. I know it's a temporary measure, and I've got other miter gauges, but I could utilise this for something else that I might, you know, put a sacrificial board on there or something like that, like I've done here. And I'm just running it through my saw there, just trying it out. I'll make adjustments to this, and I'll probably use it for a jig of some description, but just for this, where I'm doing the miters on these boards, you know, it was quite useful, to be honest. I'm just, you know, I'm quite pleased with myself. I actually learned something and done it, and it, you know, it worked. So whoever it was who said put the blue tape on the mitre gauges, thank you very much, because I did go in and watch a few videos of it, and you know, I was a bit sceptical at first, but it actually worked on the runners, the blue tape on the runners of the mitre gauge, sorry. So I'm just going in, I've put everything to size. Now this is a project you can cut to your own sizes, so you'll see on the overall project, but if anybody wants, I will put in the description the dimensions of the finished piece, and then you can make it to your size. Now I've got this little gadget. Let me know what you people think it is, what electronic angle finders. This seems to work okay, and I quite like it, makes it easier. But off camera here, what you don't see is I do go in with like a, not a square, because it's not square, is it? But you know, I went in with a gadget to make sure my 45 was bang on. So first mistake of the day here, what I'm doing here is I'm cutting the round overs off the 2x4s, 4x2s, or whatever you want to call them. I'm just going to call them whatever comes out of my mouth, so, and that's that one. So please don't be offended. So what I want to do is cut 6cm strips. So I'll go to 6cm here. Was it 6cm? I think it was. Yeah, that's a bit slightly off skew that there, but it is actually 6cm. Now I'm cutting with 6cm. What I failed to realise is I should have cut this the other way round, so the rounded corner was on the other bit of wood, if that makes sense to you. So there's a mistake. And I just realised, why is it you always realise after the fact? It's crazy, isn't it? So I'm just going in here now with, I'm going to do some of these lap jointy type sort of cuts, whatever they are. The cuts, is it lap joints, half lap joints? I don't know the specific terms, but I've, you know, been doing a lot of practice with these, sort of try to perfect them. It's going to take a while. It's like anything when you're practicing and making stuff. Practice makes perfect. You're not going to be sort of brilliant at it overnight. It's going to take me a long time to get them right. But what I am doing is I'm learning. So by doing this and showing everybody, it's a learning phase. So if you're in that learning phase, just keep at it. You're not going to get them perfect. So I just wanted to cut just a little bit off the corner, a little bit of a chamfer on the corner of these, just as a sort of decoration sort of bit, and then I was going to go in and sand it a bit more, just to give it a bit more something. I'm just cutting the trenches there for the bottoms of these, which are going to be like sort of 2 pull-out box type shells. Now this is where the problem is, these, yeah, and you'll see in a minute. So I'm just going in. You know, I'm thinking I'm being really clever here. I'm making it, and it's going really well, and I've not sussed out what I've done sort of wrong. So I'm just going in with this little signature thing I do with everything I'm trying to make now, is put the 3 little circles in to make it sort of mine, so people sort of know it's mine. These, what I make, will be on the website for sale later this evening. I could only ship them to UK, so just bear that in mind, please. And I'll put the shipping price into any UK buyers want to buy it. I'll just sell them off cheap, just it helps me get more wood and helps the channel. So there you go, I'm just going in with a force and a bit. And like I say, don't forget to subscribe, hit the super thanks, and support us in any way you can, but subscription is the main one. I'm just going in here. I've got a sacrificial board at the back to reduce tear out. It won't get rid of all the tear out, but it does significantly reduce it. Watch your fingers there. And this wood, I don't know, it's seems very waxy. And here's Shelley getting on with a sander now. You know, it looks like Christmas presents in order. I know what I'm buying her. So for Christmas, is that a cop out or what? Is that like, because I want more tools? Let me know in the comments. Be nice. So anyway, she's enjoying getting stuck into these projects. She's actually asking me, can I have a go with this, can I have a go with that? And yeah, no problem, I ain't got a problem with that. I love it when she's doing stuff with me like this. So I'm just going over it round over. I didn't know whether to chamfer that or round over. I went back with a round over. I know it sounds counterproductive where I cut it off in the beginning off the 4x2, but I just unsure how the way it was going, so I thought I'd start with how I wanted it first and then working all these kind of things. I didn't know whether I wanted a chamfer at the time, but I actually ended up going with a round over because I thought I'm going to sand these and put a bit of curvature to them. So I'm just going over everything. In this project I've gone through all the grits. I've gone through 80 grit, 120 grit, 180 and some of it's 240. I just tried some different techniques. So going over here like with like a 240, I just wanted to try different things that I've not tried before, and I'm just going to round that over there where I've just sort of tried to round it, get it sort of nice and neat by hand rounding it. And you know what, I was quite surprised this sanding how well it went. I was quite sanded out how therapeutic it was, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm just gluing everything up here. These are the miters. So I don't know if I'm putting too much glue on, but what was happening there was the glue was actually sinking right in a lot. So I did end up putting quite a bit of glue in. I was spreading it as much as I could. He won't come out in the cold. He does not like the cold. But I guarantee if a delivery man there, he would be out like a flash. So I've had these sort of like strap clamps, corner clamps for a while. I've never used them. I thought, now I'm starting practicing my miters and doing stuff like that, I'm going to start using them. Apparently they're really good, and this is the first time I've used them, so like it's first for everything. This is an exclusive to YouTube, the first time you've seen me use these strap clamps. But anyway, I like them. I don't know how you guys feel about these kind of things, but I actually like them. It sort of like give me that extra pair of hands, and it works really well, to be perfectly honest. So Shelley's going in here now onto the legs with a Jacobean stain, and the rest of the pieces will be a new fast medium oak. So it's like a two-tone colour scheme she's devised, and she's just going to go in here. So I just, like I've done that, I finished that with a 240 just to see how this stain goes on, and it just goes on. And Shelley said to me it went on really easier than it normally does. So is that a bonus? We'll see. I'll just keep doing it. Now, as I'm looking at these, as I'm doing this filming, I'm not happy with the length of these. The old proportions of everything are starting to dawn on me. Something's not quite right here. And I don't know what it was. I just can't, at this point of the video, I can't see what I've done wrong. But it's just like the legs are looking out of proportion to what I've made to the drawers, and I'm thinking something's going to bite me in the backside in a minute, and oh boy does it. So anyway, Shelley's going in here. So I'm just going in here with the spline jig I made. I am going to upgrade this spline jig, but I just thought I'd do a video the other week just to see how easy they are. And there's just one or two changes I want to make to this. Maybe a little slightly more of a design, more stable design, because on these DeWalt job site saws it's really hard to hook anything over to the other side, and I feel a bit more confident if that was the case. I hope that makes sense to you. But I mean, it's okay, but I think it could be better, and I think it could be a little bit safer. So if there's any suggestions on what I should do with a spline jig, please do in the comments. You know the score. So I'm just cutting the splines here. I'm just going in really gingerly with this. This is a piece of old mahogany chair that I'm just cutting down into splines. So that's that, just got that done. It took me a while to get them right. I'm going to have to work out a different way how to do my splines as well. Look at a few YouTube videos, a few other makers, and you know, see where I go. So I'm cutting initially on the drawers that fitted into the item. There was obviously a shelf in the middle, which this is what I'm cutting to size here, but it sort of like gets made redundant in a minute. But I just thought I'd put it into the video anyway, just to see my processes of, you know, how I done it. And you know, it's good sometimes I can watch these videos back myself and look at stuff what I've made. So my own videos are learning me more, if that makes sense. I know it sounds crazy because I can see my mistakes a bit better. So I'm just going in with a Japanese saw, cutting the splines. The splines weren't 100% right. The miters weren't 100% right, but they were better than the last time I made them. So that is a step forward. So I'm just going over more sanding. Did you see a lot of sanding on this project? Which I don't actually mind doing. It was all like fiddly bits, so that's why I've got this smaller sander out. And I think I'm using a 180 on this. I'm not sure whether it was a 180 or a 240. I do apologise, I should have that information to hand. Now Shelley's going over with the new medium oak stain over the you know, the outside. And you can see the drawer there that's going to fit in there with my little signature with the splines. I loved them, loved them, and here it is. I've made them actually the wrong size. I've made one or the other the wrong size, and I'm thinking, why have I not picked up on that? Why have I not picked up on that? A stupid mistake. You know, people say measure twice, cut once, whatever. I don't know what I've done there, because I have been trying to up my game on my measurements. So whether it's something, I can't figure it out. If you watch this video back and tell me where I went wrong, you see it, I don't know. But obviously I've made a mistake, but you've got to move on. So it was move on quick. I've got to get this video sorted out, and I want to make a nice piece of furniture. So park that one to the side and just push them sort of square pegs through them round holes and just get on with it. So I've actually cut the legs down. It was bugging me, the proportions of it. So obviously you can see there, I've cut them down. So I'm just marking out to cut holes. Now everything's pre-stained here at this point, and had a coat of hard wax oil on it. I don't know why we come round to doing stuff a different way. We were in a bit of a rush. Shelley had to go somewhere or something like that, so she did that bit of hard wax oil. So I'm having to work gingerly here now with cutting the holes for the screws and plugs that's going to go onto the carcass. So a bit of glue in the centre there, and I was didn't know whether this would work out right, whether it would be strong enough, but just to update you on it, since I've made these, you know, it's been a day or so, and you know, they've been left, and they're solid, they're absolutely solid. So a bit of glue, a 4mm, a 40mm screw into each leg, and it seems to be holding up really well. So I'm quite happy with that. I was going to actually brace and cut another sort of lap joint in there on going across, but I didn't need to. I wanted this look. I didn't want sort of it too fussy underneath. I wanted the legs on this project to sort of like be the look, if that makes sense. I'm just cutting being really careful here, just to get these plugs without trying to scratch that finished sort of leg. But I mean, it does happen a little bit, and what we will do is we'll sort of go over and make it right. I wanted the contrasting thing. So here they are finished. So there would have been two sort of cupboards in there with the thing, but obviously that went wrong. But they've turned out into two really nice, attractive Art Deco looking stands. I love them. I absolutely love them. Let me know in the comments what you think. They might not be your cup of tea, but I absolutely adore these. I think they're really nice. They could be better. They could have had them drawers in. But what a nice set of things to have at the side of a sofa, side of a bed, as little stands, you know, in an hallway, this kind of stuff. And them legs there, I think, really set it off. So this has set me on a journey. Thanks for watching. See you next time.